as far as scalability, and I suppose that leads into the idea of systems, and as much as you said, you're quite disorganized in that, there is no set system.
Right.
I do know the way that sort of you break things up, and you have to be successful working with virtual assistants, you need to be able to have that outsourced. Otherwise, and if systems aren't set up in place, usually what ends up happening is you just spend all of your time trying to keep your virtual assistants busy. So the idea of having those systems in there to help that scalability, how does sort of you handle actually the execution of getting things done through your virtual assistants?
Well, I'm lucky in that, we use Skype, and I'm in the process of moving over to a ticket system, but I just have a wonderful team, and they're very intuitive. They pretty much can keep an eye on our business and know what I need, or I can get in touch with them and say I need this, and it just gets done. So that came through trial and error, and it took quite a bit of time. You're not going to get that lucky right off the bat. You're going to go through people, until you get to that point. But, I say I'm disorganized in things as far as I don't have a set link building schedule or anything like that. But the thing that I do every day is I get up early and I start my day by looking at my master task list, and I pluck the 3 priority tasks off that list and get them done right away. So I'm actually a very structured person and a very consistent person. But the one thing I do is I take my master task list and I look at everything that I could possibly outsource, something someone else could do, and I put that on a separate list. And then so when I get up in the morning and I pluck my 3 priority tasks, I also look over to my outsource list or my tasks that could be outsourced. I know, kind of a handful of people, about a dozen people that do various things, and I just send them off first thing in the morning. Then I do my 3 tasks. So I know that those things are getting handled, and then I'm doing my priority tasks, and I'm usually done with my work day before 10 a.m., and most of the time before anybody else ever gets to their desk.
It's funny, and as we dig deeper to find out these sort of things like that right there, you might not even have realised. I would see that as one of those huge leverage points. The idea, this master task list that you have, how do you go through the idea of, brainstorming? Do you map out maybe at the start of the year what it is that you want to achieve, break that down into your master task list, and then just chew through each day a few, or not that structured? Or how do you do it?
Boy, yeah, no, I'm not that organized. If I were doing that, I wouldn't get anything else done, right? So basically, I'm just like everyone else. I jot down ideas in an idea notebook. I carry it with me everywhere I go, when I'm traveling, when I'm in the car. I have an idea notebook that I keep with me everywhere. I call it my $1 million notebook because it's just full of ideas. But then, once a month, at the beginning of the month, I sit down and I analyze stats from the previous month. I sit down and look at all my notes and add things to the list in the right priority. And so the master task list is constantly growing, it's constantly changing, it's constantly shifting, and I just, add things to it as I think of them. So then once a month I do have to reprioritize it, and I do have to think, maybe I'll save that idea for later and put it at the bottom and things like that. But I just go with it. But it's important once a month to sit down and analyze stats for my business from the month before, see where I am, and determine what needs to be done next. And I just go at it from that angle.
Yeah, I think, I suppose like a lot of online entrepreneurs, they get 50 million ideas, and I know you said like everybody else you have a notebook. A lot of people don't carry that notebook around, and the ideas that you're able to capture doing that, then the idea of how to actually choose which ones are worthy to run with and which ones aren't. Do you have a process where you sort of think whether it happens intuitively or it's something that, you plan out? Do you sit there and you go, how do you identify? Does it need to be in line with what an overall goal is, or does a certain project have to generate a certain amount of money for you to take it up? Because there's just so many ideas out there.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be different for each individual person. So if you're just getting started and or if money is your current goal, if you haven't quite reached your financial goals yet, then your priorities are going to be in a different place. And when that's the case, you have to start with the money-making tasks and do those first. So it doesn't matter if you get the little Twitter plugin added to your WordPress blog. That's not the money-making task. The money-making task is creating, a new affiliate page on your domain that targets a certain keyword phrase and getting backlinks. And so it's very important that, to do what's in line with your particular goals. My base income, is covered by passive income sources already, and so my goals will be different than someone who's just starting out. And I might be, in the process of launching a new site, or I might, get the idea to just go and redo all my affiliate sites or something like that. But it just is going to depend on where you are. And I think it's very important to know your objective, because if you don't know your objective, you're just going to be mindlessly doing tasks or reading blogs or trying to figure out new things when really you need to be doing whatever it is to get to your next goal, period. And that's where the priority tasks come in for me, the top 3 things that I need to do today to get closer to my current objective.